Here's what I want you to take away from this video. Your build can be as inexpensive or as expensive as you want to make it. I went with the least expensive route and with my skill level, which is barely anything. I have a screwdriver, I have a drill, a staple gun, and a hot glue gun. That's what I'm working with.
Welcome to Fantasy Adventure! Are you subscribed yet? If not, my mom says you should be.
Today I'm going to take you on a tour of my 2000 Ford E250. It is a no-build build with minimal skills required. I'll also leave my purchased items in the description area.
Come and see my $300 van build and tour. Alright, so first things first, I have my little dog station here. Normally what I do is I have a bowl it velcros down so it doesn't move. But then what I'll do is, for this one, what I have in here would be for a short trip, but I have bigger containers. But these are small. So if I'm just gonna go on like a little thing, like maybe, like a day, I would fill this up. And then also, this is for me. So I actually made this one because, what I purchased before didn't work. And if you're gonna talk to me about a Shiwi, have that. Ask me where it is. I don't know. And the fact that when you're done with the Shiwi, it's just an extra lot of cleaning that I just don't want to do, to be quite honest. But this has worked fantastic. Get it? I did I painted a P on there and I just put jar. So that's that. This is extra space that normally doesn't get used because this door is closed. So we made this little stand that goes there, and it acts as a shelf that the dogs eat on. So I thought that was very practical. I did paint it, and that really didn't really cost anything because this was just extra wood. And we already had to paint. So that's that.
On this door, I keep all the leashes, doggy bags, and my handy dandy little broom. I do have a little vacuum that you plug in, but I got to tell you, it winds up being easier just using this. Also for the build, this rug right here, I got this rug from Habitat for Humanity. Wound up being a pretty cheap thing. If you have a Habitat for Humanity in your area, I would definitely go check it out because you can get things like flooring, rugs, things for your conventional house also. Carbon monoxide detector right down there. You can't leave home without Raid. And all of my supplies, I have vinegar water in there, Windex right there, that if the windshield gets too dirty and I don't have access to something, I use that. So I always carry that. And then obviously fragrance things in here. You would want to have those. My little fun stuff up there, all those little sleeve things, they're crocheted. I keep like my cords and stuff in there, just like little things that I can just have quick access to. I have one of these lights. I absolutely love this. For this guy, it's, like a aluminum baton. So, if you're out with your dog and if you needed to use this in a self-defense situation, you better believe it. You have it right there.
So let's talk about this no-build build and why did we spend so little on getting this van ready? I wanted to spend more money on or focus our money on necessities. So for me, the build was a bed that is kind of like a version of a rockaway bed. I drew it out, and my husband basically he helped me do it. But is it something that I could have done? Absolutely. The bed consists of plywood, 2x4s, two piano hinges, and some screws. And then after that, that's part of the build. We left everything in here original. We do not have carpentry skills. My husband will tell you off the very bat he is a welder. He is not a carpenter.
we're not engineers. So if I would have spent time ripping all of this out, I probably still would be trying to get on the road to do anything, because we wouldn't know what we were doing, and we would be spending so much extra money. Now, everybody's build is totally different. So I get that. You could buy something that has nothing in it, and you can start from a blank slate. This already has installation. It already has cabinets. So therefore, all I did was I got like little bags that I label, like this one says undies, then I have one that says hair, then I have one that says socks, and they just squish right up in there. End of story. So for me, I mean, it was a no-brainer for me to do it this way. But that's what we spent the money on for the build itself. The shelf. We didn't build the shelf. It's one of those, here you go. It's one of those regular wire racks right here that you see. We got it from Amazon. Now, granted, because I'm not the best measuring person, this would have been the third shelf that I got to be able to fit in here. So this bed slides out. What happens is, and I actually have a little cubbies in here. Here's my mattress right here. And then I have this little sleeve thing that fits right underneath our legs right here. So these are the stables, and then this is the one that moves. So this slides out 24 inches. So rather than just having this is more for me. Here is my water. Now normally when I'm traveling, this actually is a gooseneck faucet right here, but I took that down, so don't ask me where it is. You charge it up. My water is down here. Normally, there is a refrigerator. My refrigerator goes right in this spot, right here. So refrigerator goes here. Then I have bungee cords that helps to keep it back. So we got food down there. I bring a lot of freeze-dried stuff. Yeah, don't look at those little alcohol things. Disregard that, kids. I also have my run hood plug-in. I normally plug that up. So I have two solar stations in this van, if you will. The run hood, which is here, and that gets charged off of our EcoFlow. And then the refrigerator, here's my outlet up there. The refrigerator gets plugged into there, and that line runs underneath the bed and goes to the back. So how do I shower? Well, this is my shower bin. If I go to like a Love's, or I go somewhere where I can actually take a shower, like if I go to a Planet Fitness, anything like that, I always have my shower shoes, and they have holes in them. So I just basically grab this and whatever clothes I need, and I just take this with me. So this is what I would take with me. Down in here, I have a shower bag, soap, and then this has soap in it. All right, now underneath, okay, right now we're traveling with a cat. So normally that is not there. I keep clothes in here. So got clothes and PJs. I actually don't keep PJs in there anymore because I just rather have more clothes. So normally I set my clothes up by the season. So I have a summer bin and like a winter fall bin. And that's when I would bring in like the heaters and stuff right here. This is my tool bag, obviously, because it says for the van. That's in there. One more thing. Okay, so I have a lot of fans in this van. That's my little ceiling fan. I have two of those, a white one and a green one. And then I probably have about 5 other fans that I can put up. Some are solar, well, the rest of them are USB, but I can kind of put them all over this van because we didn't put any holes in the ceiling. We really just didn't want to do that. Again, you know, that's not for us and to get me on the road as quickly as possible. We opted not to do that. So the one thing about this van is that it does not give you a lot of cross breeze because these windows open up like this. So that doesn't really help. It's not a lot of space. If you look here, that's basically it. Now where I put my PJs, and you guys should probably already know about this, all of my PJs, they're in here. So everything is in here, and I keep that as just like my pillow where I'm gonna lean back. This green one is an actual pillow. So the green one's an actual pillow, and then this pillow is the dog pillow. So everything in here has all dog stuff in it. And that's pretty much where everything is. So you can see not a lot of money was spent in this van. There's my cooking supplies. I do have other things down below. I have 2 cubes. That's where all of my, like my cookware, things like that, that's behind there. That's my mom. Hey, Mom. That's back there behind those things. Here's another fan. That one hangs upside down, but all you do is just turn it on. And then also, here's day mode. We're on the passenger side, and that's one of the beds that we have normally. That's the co-pilot seat of the dogs. I'm washing the other one right now. This is my little, like side table, if you will. Sometimes I'll put my phone here. Sometimes I'll put my glasses in here. Stuff like that. I don't know who created or who invented the chapstick holder, but we are definitely friends. At this point, I love this thing because I always know where my chapstick is. I'm always using chapstick. Down below here, this is where I keep things cold. I didn't always have this. This is a new addition. Yeah, 12 volt, little cooler. So right now I have these bags in here, but what I'll do is I'll take these out. I even kind of freeze them. I also keep this in here. That will let me know what the temperature is, but it is not plugged in. It is not in travel mode. But it does help if you want like a quick, and oh, also you could make it warm as well, but I don't do that. I just keep it on cold. So, but like I said, this is the new addition. So we have that. That's really in like daytime travel mode. All right, driver's side. Nothing special. We all have the stuff in there. And my little trash cans right over there. Where does she go to the bathroom? All right, so here's where the magic happens. Right here, I have my portable toilet. So, as you know, most van lifers, yeah, you don't want to have to do this if you don't have to. But if you do, I use these guys for this system. It's called Double Duty. And it's like a double sealed bag that you can just dispose of. But, you know, I also have my homemade pee bottle. So I do use that. But that's what happens. I obviously would have the windows on the sides blocked off, and I have Reflectix with like the black felt. So I do use those. And then just put something up in the window. I have a bigger Reflectix for the front, so that's not really an issue. And that's how I go to the bathroom. So let me show you how easy it is to put away. These lock in place. I didn't have it locked. But I even keep like an extra bag in here. So you close it, and then the legs just kind of flip in and they lock. And basically I just put this behind my chair. It's just going to go back here, right behind my chair. And that's where it is. I also behind the chair keep a couple of tables. That's a little table, and then I have another table there. And I also have one in the cargo carrier. Let's go look at where the money was spent. Here's where the money was spent for this build. EcoFlow. I'm not sure if this is a Delta Max. I can't remember. But I call it like the mother. And then I call this one like the dummy one, because this one won't work without this one. Here's my shower tent right here. And then I have like Reflectix and things to put in these back windows, but we put these black ones in. As the other ones go, we'll replace those too. I got these little cute things, but they actually wind up having a double purpose. So if I'm on a hill or if I'm slanted,
they actually tell me. This is almost like another little nightstand thing that I have here. Have it on both sides so I can keep things in there. There's one on each side in case my husband comes. He has a little spot to put things. I also travel with 200 watts of additional solar, which is here. So that's one of those ones that lays flat, and I hang it on the outside of the van. 200 watts mounted on the roof. All right, the animals are coming in. Hey, Snoopy. For this build, I wound up spending the money on the things that I would need to be out on the road. You know, as far as the solar system and, you know, a refrigerator. Even for like this stuff, I did get the, I got the mattress from Amazon, but my sewing skills, I'm at like level almost 1. And so I would not have been able to make these, put zippers in them. So I did get these from Covers and All. And normally they give coupons so you can get it at a reasonable rate. But I wound up putting also, I had extra pieces left. And what I did was I had them make these for me, because what was happening was my pillow would fall down this way. And then it was uncomfortable. And then my feet sometimes would hang over because there is this gap between where the bed is and also where your feet are going to be. So this just makes it nice as to where I can combine that, and it winds up pretty much being like one level. So your build can be as cheap as you want or as expensive as you want. But if you want to be able to get out on the road, I'm going to say go with what you have. What's the purpose of you being out on the road? Is it to, are you looking for the glamour? Because you can still have it a certain way. For me, if I want to change things, what I do is I get different duvet covers, and I can change, you know, the sceneries on my curtains. And I'll do like a night kind of vibe in here. But I did have to keep it, or I didn't have to, but I thought it was only fair to keep it kind of neutral in here, so that this way, it, you know, my husband wouldn't be throwing up from all the femininity in here, but it's still, you know, like you have like little vine things, and so there's touches of it in here, but it's not all truly femmed out. But my duvet cover, you know, is definitely girly. It's what you can afford to do. If you want to spend, you know, months doing a build, that's your prerogative. Me, you know, and I can't even tell you what this would look like if we ripped everything out and then tried to recreate stuff. So for us, we had a good foundation. And not only that, I didn't even know, what if I didn't like van life in this van and I've just totally ripped everything out? We still do have the 2 chairs that go in the middle, but the bench we did get rid of because it didn't have enough clearance for me to put storage underneath it. That's the only reason why we built a bed. But if that wasn't an issue for me, we could have just kept that and I could have put a mattress on it. That would have saved even more money. But I wanted storage underneath because I like to travel with clothes. I like to travel with my amenities. I have like a new wave so I can cook up here if need be. I have tables that go outside. I have a tent. So I do have all those things. And that's what I spent my money on. I did not spend it on an expensive internal build. The money for us, it went into the solar system. Like I said before, I know I'm repeating myself, but I just can't be any clearer about that. So money for my van was spent into the refrigerator, the solar. Otherwise, I'd still be building it out. I would have never gone to a Virginia meetup, Alaska, then the Peace, Love, and Vans. I'd probably still be working on this van. So do what's in your comfort level. But if you want to go cheap and you just want to get out there, make sure you have a bed and make sure that you can keep like your drinks cold and keep your phone charged. You know, you need those basic things. And sometimes when people spend a lot of money on builds, what I notice is they wind up changing it. Now, I don't know about you, and I mean, only, you know, you could definitely put something down in the comments, but if you have a van, you know, how many times have you reworked your van? And so, you know, that gets costly. If I want to switch out the decor, I get another duvet cover. I rip off the first layer of my blackout curtain and I put another scenery up there. That's, you know, that's me. That's how I keep my happy. I like to keep it simple. You know, we're always working on the van. We're always doing something. So thank you for watching the video. I appreciate your time. I hope you got something out of this, maybe learned a little bit that it doesn't take a lot to get you on the road. And, you know, focus, if you got a little bit of extra cash, focus that on the things you definitely need. Those were important to me. It wasn't important for me to rip out this van and, you know, rip all of these cabinets out to put more cabinets up. They're already here. They already exist. So why would I do that? And again, I didn't know if I would like van life in this van. What if it didn't work for me? What if I couldn't handle driving this particular vehicle? It does have a lot of play in the steering wheel. I've already talked about that. I still have to get that fixed. But, you know, luckily, I love it. I love this van. But if I didn't, and we totally ripped this apart and tried to put it back together, it just wasn't worth it to me for that. That's not why I got, you know, that's not why I was in it. I wasn't trying to rebuild a van. But if that's your prerogative, by all means, and if that's what you're working with, well, then that's what you're working with. We didn't have to start from scratch. I already had every one of these. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little compartments. And this one's quite large. I have fans and stuff in here. So I have a lot of compartments. I love this van. My food storage, like I said, is down there. I also keep other things. If you want, I'll do another video like what's in everything. And I do keep like emergency roadside things. That's all underneath the bed in a plastic crate. If I were going for somewhere longer, and like, for example, when I did do that long trip, that was another bin of food. Your girl can't ask for much more than that. I mean, it's everything that I need. I have a DVD player up there. You know, I have lights that goes around. Also, my little pride and joy, because everything seems to have a remote. So I have like 50 million remotes up here. My glasses are up here. All these lights. How many remotes is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 remotes right here. And I'm pretty sure I think there's another one somewhere else. Oh yeah, up there by the door. That's a lot of remotes. I needed a place to put this stuff. So I'm able to work with what I have. The one disadvantage about having a smaller van is like this right here. This is, it's by remote. But when I'm using my remote for the DVD player, it will do something to this or do something to the fan that will be above me. It actually triggers other things. So that's the annoying part about being in a smaller space. Whoop. Is because your remotes will trigger other things. So that's an issue for me. So I try not to have too many things going at the same time because it's just annoying. So I could be messing with the remote on a DVD player, and then the next thing you know, my fan, the light pops on because my fan also has a light on it. Or this one will get brighter, or it'll shut off depending on what I'm hitting on my remote for the DVD player. So yeah, small spaces with the remotes, that tends to be a problem. I wish you the very best with your build. If you're building something, if you are already on the road, you know, let me know what's the best pride and joy thing in your van, and you know, how much, you know, did it cost you to get your first build done? You know, what did you do to it? Did you prioritize everything? Did you just throw a bed and something and maybe some of those plastic bins from Walmart in there just to test it out to see where you wanted things to go? How did you work on doing your van? That's what these videos are about. It's to help others that are testing the waters to do their own vans or vehicles. So we're really a community that really helps one another, because before I started this, yeah, you're darn right, I was looking at other people's vans. What are they surviving on? You know, how are they living? That's important. But just also remember, like, all this stuff here, that has to come down. This stuff would drive you nuts. I had to take all this down. This is not in driving mode situation, but I know it's not going to take me long to take those things off, put them in a bin, and keep it moving. So that's important too. Yeah, those things would not stay. That would drive me bonkers. But thank you for being here. Hope you got something out of the video. Bye. Welcome to Fantasy Adventure. Welcome to Fantasy Adventure. Stop it, Fifi. Welcome to Fantasy Adventure. Hi, this is Fantasy Adventure, and welcome to my cheap-ass van build and tour. Come on. Welcome to Fantasy Adventure. Come and see my low-budget, no-build that requires very little skill. Welcome to Fantasy Adventure.